Gun crew, reload. Commence firing procedure.
Clear them off! And I should want to know what the hell they're doing out here, Corporal.
Sir!
Had all the top brass out today, did you notice?
Trust us to pick the wrong day.
That's the right day. They'll be so busy sucking up to their general, they won't notice their little toys missing.
Fire!
Blimey, it's all right for some minutes, some of us have to work. Good.
Okay.
Major Erskine.
Yes?
Detective Chief Inspector Haggerty.
Special branch?
Yeah, we're advised by the Ministry.
Well, naturally, you know why, of course.
Yes. You suspect 2 civilians of nicking your gun. Chief Inspector Craven.
Rather more than just a gun, I fear, Chief Inspector. But yes, our prime suspects are 2 pig food men.
2 what?
2 civilians who have a contract to remove kitchen waste. Theirs was the last vehicle to leave the camp before the theft was discovered.
Is that all you've got to go on?
For the moment, yes.
On the assumption you're right, Major, are you saying they just drove off with it? In front of everybody?
Yes. The thorough checks have been carried out at all levels.
Well, weren't they ever searched?
Well, we did it, didn't we?
Yep, we did it.
Drove away with it, just like that.
Just like that.
I wonder what will happen to the camp. They'll crucify those poor bastards who were in charge of it.
Listen, Sunbeam, they'll hang us if they catch us with it.
There, that's all we have.
Time.
The old man, Francis Gosling, was in the army. Regular, 5 years enlistment.
In what?
Royal Artillery.
Oh, so he knows something about handling an anti-tank gun.
Well, yes, his military record's there.
Good, bad, or indifferent?
As good as yours, he made, Sergeant. Ah, he's very good at sport, evidently. Played soccer for the regiment. Honourable discharge.
And the other man?
Ronald Murray. He's the brother-in-law of Gosling. He's never served in the armed forces, but he was discreetly vetted. The local police carry that out.
So on the face of it, there's no obvious motive. Have all your other leads dried up? I mean, you've got no cheesed-off squaddies out for a bit of fun?
Not this sort of fun.
We'll be at the farm soon, though, won't we, Frank?
Yeah, about half an hour.
What's that?
This other file on Leonard Gosling, is that, that's the young Gosling's father, is it?
Yeah, he has a military record.
Is he anything to do with the pig slough business?
No, the lorry belongs to his son, though I understand the old man helps with the paperwork.
Family business, huh? Just one lorry?
As far as we know.
And they've been no trouble before?
Not to me, and I understand our catering people have no complaints.
And the old Gosling, was he a regular soldier?
Long service. 25 years. 32 to 57, RESC. Unblemished record, retired with a pension. His army record got him a Ministry of Defence job. He fell ill 4 years ago.
Seriously?
Heart condition. Packed up his job, stays at home now. And there's a sister who's been something of a protester. Nothing serious, evidently.
$27.
Yeah. Must be that side.
Your sort of area, this, isn't it?
Yes, I'll take it for some pie and mash for lunch. You've got my credit card with me.
Yeah.
Ed, are you looking for Len?
Len?
Len Gosling.
Yeah.
Aye, well, he's in the back with his blooming bonfire. Here, are you from the council?
No.
Oh, well, look, I've been after them. That blooming bonfire's getting on my nerves.
Mr. Gosling?
Yeah?
Leonard Gosling?
Yeah.
We're police officers. We'd like a word. My name's Craven, Chief Inspector Craven. This is Chief Inspector Haggerty.
Hi.
Well, you'll have to excuse the state of the place.
That's all right, Mr. Gosling. It's about your son.
Frank.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to Frank, has it?
No, no, not yet.
We'd just like to find him. Have a little chat.
He's out working, ain't he?
Do you know where?
Why?
Do you know where he's working, Mr. Gosling?
Well, it was Tuesday, ain't it? It's, yeah, they collect from 3 camps near Tapworth, then take the stuff. It's, pig food, you understand, to Higgins Farm near Watford. They usually have a bit of dinner out there first, then go on to another job at Radlett.
Higgins Farm, you say?
That's right, let's
I see it.
Tom. You want this?
I'll send one up for you.
There's nothing wrong with my lad, you know. That Ron's a bit of a wet bastard, I grant you, but Frank's all right. Been good to me, yes. A lot of them chuck the old fella out these days, you know.
Well, I have to talk to him.
He's not bent, neither. None of them are. I saw to that. Brought him up strict. Regimental, like what I was. Of course, it was a bit dodgy when I lost my missus, but they turn out all right. Well, Jean's a bit...
How long they had the lorry?
Oh, about 2 years now.
And before that?
Well, Frank was a regular like myself. Got his tapes up as well. Wouldn't stay on, though. He had a bitch of a wife of his. But anyway, he did a bit of lorry driving when he came out. Away a lot. The cow ran off with some puff. Took all the bleeding money. Left him with the 2 kids.
I see.
Well, my daughter, Carole, that's Ron's wife, took him in. Then Frank and Ron went in for the truck. They wanted to be on their own, you understand? Thought they'd get a bit of cash together that way. Get the kids out of this dump.
How they've been making out?
Well, up and down, you know. The Defence Ministry contracts helped.
You managed to save much?
But with prices like they are today, do me a favour, Guff. Oh, Jean, Darla. Yeah, this is Chief Inspector...
Yes, Dad, I know. He's got Gestapo stamped all over him. Look, mister, I told your mates down at the Nick, if you think I'm planting bombs all over, then come and pick me up. Don't go bothering a sick old man.
How we going for time then, Frank?
All right. Do better if you give us a hand.
Yeah, right. You still gonna ring the papers this afternoon?
How many more times? Hope we get that thing safely hid, then we move on to phase 2 of the operation. Come on, Ron. For Christ's sake. Look, leave it. You get that tyre into the back of the truck. Come on. Let's move.
Listen, Frank can run armed villains and never will be. That's their trouble, they're too straight.
And you're not?
All I'm saying is that my brother and Ron Murray aren't like me. Just the opposite. The actual capitalists, working their guts out on that clapped-out, stinking old wagon. And you know why? Because they want to be independent, be their own bosses.
So what's wrong with that?
Some independence. The finance company owns the wagon. It'll own them as well soon, the rate they're going.
Life's tough.
Yeah, and your mob don't make it any easier. What are you spying on them for, anyway?
I'm inquiring into an incident. They may be involved. That's all.
What incident? Hello, you two.
Auntie Jean, I got 2 house points at school today.
Good girl. I'll see you in a minute. That's all Frank's interested in. Those kids. And getting somewhere decent to live.
Very creditable. Look, I'd like a word with Mrs. Murray.
Okay. Oh, mind how you go. The handrail's loose. The ceiling's fallen down twice already. Oh, and watch the bugs. With a bit of luck, they'll gnaw you to pieces. There you are. Do you like some jam on there? Carole, meet the law. Wants to talk. Nothing to worry about, he says. Detective Chief Inspector...
Craven. Sorry to intrude, Mrs. Murray. I'd just like a word.
What, now, in the middle of the kids' dinner?
Won't take a minute.
That's what they all say.
I'd like to speak to Mrs. Murray alone, if I may.
Oh, thought you might want a chaperone. The kids can stay.
Oh, sure, sure.
Do you want to sit down?
No, thanks. I'll stand. It's about Ron. There's nothing to worry about. He's not being hurt or anything like that. It's just that he may be able to help us.
Well, why don't you go and see him then, at work?
Or somebody's doing that. You see, Ron and Frank might be involved in...
You mean he's in trouble? Well, Ron wouldn't thieve or anything like that. He's straight as a die. He has his faults, but he...
Carole, Danny wants the lavatory again.
Can't he wait till after dinner?
You know what happened yesterday.
All right. Would you take him down?
Tell me, Ron hasn't been worried lately, has he?
Worried?
Well, you know, upset about anything.
Nothing special. What does anyone worry about these days? Money, a decent place to live in. I'm sorry. You've come at a bad time. What's the matter with you now?
Well, our boys will take care of everything. Don't worry, they'll be very discreet.
Nearly there, at last.
Yep. Christ!
What are we going to do, Frank? What happened? I thought you'd all worked out.
What's happened, Sunbeam, is we've been rumbled. At least that's what it looks like.
Should never have done it. It's all right for you. I've got a wife and kids.
I've got kids too. Where you going?
Come on, let's run while we've got the chance.
What do you mean, run? Look, if they're at Higgins, they're onto us, right? If we run, they'll catch us in seconds.
What we're going to do? We'll give ourselves up.
Oh, wise up, Ron. They'll send us down now for taking it, whatever happens.
But we'll get off light if we take it back, won't we?
You don't know the army. They hang you for a sheep or a lamb.
So what do we do?
We go ahead. Yeah, but we can't. OK, so they know we took it. Look, do you realise what this is? I know this, baby. We could blow the Bank of England to pieces, not to mention number 10. No, Ron. We've got the trump card, and don't you forget it. Well, we've got this. We can take on anything and anybody.
The blues.
Hey! Nice one, Alan.
Ozzy taught me, didn't he?
Frank was done for speeding, 1969. But the daughter's on file, though.
I guess that.
Jean Frances Gosling, member of Communist Party, 67-70, resigned, joined Labour Party, active CND, World Movement for Peace, suspected association. God, she's a really busy lady.
What's she doing now?
Secretary for Housing Action Committee. She wants all the houses in that street pulled down. She's pulling pints part-time in the local working men's club.
Very appropriate.
Yeah, there's nothing to show that her brother or Murray are activists of any kind, though.
The only activity those poor bastards are up to is making a few quid, honestly.
What's up with you? You're a sympathy kick or something? Well, it's only got to take their fancy. They could load that thing onto a number 11 bus and blow up the throne room in Buckingham Palace without even getting off at Hyde Park Corner.
It's out of character. Gosling's an amateur in this game.
Oh, there's always been a good market in thermic lances.
So the villains are up with the times. But an anti-tank gun, it's not on.
Well, the IRA or the Ulster Freedom Fighters, they'll be in the market for anything. Well, it's a thought, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but where's the link? If there is one, we haven't found it.
Not yet.
For my money, we won't. Look, Gosling was an ex-regular soldier with a wonderful record. Now, what would a deal like that make him?
A rich bastard.
Craven. Oh, put him on. It's Major Erskine from Tapworth. Hello, Major. Oh. Oh, I see. Yes, all right, Major, yes, we'll follow it up from this end. Says the press are onto it. Place is crawling with reporters.
We'll have to get a wireless in this place. Is he stalling them?
It's no use. They've had a very good tip-off with all the facts from a very reliable source.
Your people didn't request a denotice.
We thought it to be counterproductive.
Come in. Have you two seen this?
Yes, sir. It's in all the papers. And we have a transcript of the phone call the two men made to the Press Association.
And you had no inkling?
That the gun was stolen as a protest against bad living conditions? No, sir. It seems Gosling's sister was involved in a campaign down there.
What, for the rehousing of a whole street?
Yes, sir. I've seen the place. I can understand it.
Very charitable, Chief Inspector.
Well, there's no security risk then. Job for the local CID. Straight theft.
I only wish it were that simple, Haggerty. But I'm afraid it's not. You see, there's something you're not aware of. It's no ordinary anti-tank gun that these two have got their hands on. Or the weapon's standard enough, out of date even. But it happens to be fitted with the Davidson Steiner sight, and that's top secret.
Well, why weren't we told?
There was no reason why you should have been. At least, not until you'd got some sort of lead on the motivation behind the theft. You see, a lot of interested parties, friendly or otherwise, know that that site has been on test at Tapworth.
Just so, Commander. Of course, they can't be sure. But the chance that the stolen gun is the test weapon is one they can't possibly afford to miss. They'll all be after it.
I know. And you want us to make damn sure we're there ahead of them.
Is that one of ours?
No, Russian.
Oh, I thought they only use them to frighten the Martians these days.
They use this to frighten us.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Okay, Ernie, that's enough.
Tell me, are you? What? One of ours.
Oh, very much so. I'm a life member, Doctor. Haggerty.
Hi. Eric Blyth.
Hi.
I was told one of you boys would be around. Oh, yes, of course. Ernie, old son, why don't you have another of your quick tea breaks? Miserable bastard, but his heart's in the right place.
Hey, he could have fooled me.
Well, you can't expect him to laugh as well. Not on the money we pay him.
Now, you were sold to me as the Ministry of Defence's whiz kid on gun sites. You've been doing a bit of moonlighting on your days off.
I wish I could. No, we have to know what lines the other shops in the business are promoting. The Soviets are top end of the market right now.
Well, better than us.
Well, it's early days yet. Our little box of tricks over here should certainly be better than the one you've just seen. 3 times the accuracy and twice the range once we got the wrinkles out. The Davidson Steiner laser-guided gun sight.
Ah, the original portable. You could fit that into a suitcase.
Well, stripped down like this easily.
Yeah. How's it work?
Well, it's a bit complicated.
Try me. I did metal work at school.
Well, it's an advanced development of the infrared heat searching system built into missiles. Only this is an integral part of the weapon, not of the projectile. And it uses a laser, a beam of pure light, sensitive to vibration and heat, even to human body temperature at a range of over 500 yards. The sight locks the gun onto target and boom.
Yeah, bullseye.
Give the gentleman a coconut.
Is it your baby?
No, Dr. Steiner and Professor Davidson's their brainchild. I've just been in charge of development from prototype on.
And Steiner and Davidson, are they around?
No, Steiner's dead 6 months ago, heart attack. Professor Davidson's attached to our team at Woomera now.
How simple is it to use?
Nothing to it, if you've been trained.
And if you haven't?
Ah, the 2 crusaders.
Yeah.
Well, yes, Mr. Haggerty, they could operate the weapon, but the possible consequences could be most unfortunate, unless they happen to be in the middle of the Sahara.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Doctor. You've been a great help. It's a good job it wasn't loaded, isn't it?
Ah, you got the ammunition back.
What ammunition?
Oh, didn't they tell you? We only fired 3 rounds on that last test run. There were 5 shells in the rack they took with the gun.
Where'd you put it then?
Down the road in the old quarry.
That's the first place they're going to look.
Well, I know that. That's why I need your help.
No way, Frank. I can't help you, son. I've had the old Bill in here twice already today.
Look, I just need somewhere to hide the thing while we make the deal.
What deal? You must be all your crust. Listen, what about your kids and your old man? You'll get nicked for this, son, I'm telling you, and there'll be a lot of porridge with it.
Yeah, but they might have to give in on the housing.
What's the matter with you, Frank? Give in? That mob don't give in. Look, I know your sister goes into all this power to the people crap, but you, Frank, I thought you had more sense.
Yeah. But cheers, Steve. Good mate. See ya.
Frank, why?
Well, you know what Napoleon said about Waterloo. Seemed a good idea at the time.
In good shape?
We like to keep active, you know.
Nice to relax occasionally.
And in such pleasant company. I suppose I should have asked, how are things in...
Oh, so, you know.
This bit of bother at the camp.
Oh, just something mislaid.
Awkward for you.
Well... You're not involved?
Heaven forbid. Why should we butt in?
Why, indeed. Thought I'd better say a word. Hate to get our lines crossed with your...
We must have dinner together one evening soon.
I'd like that. Very soon, while we're both still in business.
They say it's a dying art, ours. Soon there won't be any secrets. All these satellites spinning around in space, seeing everywhere.
Just like God.
Viola, 2 pints of best. That's 32. Yes, in there playing snooker. Ciao. Same again. Andrei Koniev, TASS?
Soviet news agency.
So you're a Russian?
Yes, a journalist, and I hope a friend.
Oh, yeah?
Miss Gosling, it is very clear that both your brother and your brother-in-law are in urgent need of help. I might be able to assist.
In return for what?
You might not want to believe this, Miss Gosling, but the Soviet Union are interested in the working people's struggles in this country, not merely to gain some diplomatic or political advantage.
Oh, sure. Sure, I'd accept your help. Anybody's help if I knew where the two of them were.
You have absolutely no idea where they might be.
Absolutely none. You think they'd let me go on serving behind a bar if I knew where they were hiding?
Evening, Connie. You're a long way from home. Vodka? Scotch, Mr. Haggerty. Cigarette?
No, thanks.
That's all right, they are American.
Oh, won't make any difference. I don't smoke.
Special branch are out in force tonight?
Yeah, well, it's such a lovely evening, isn't it? You ever change your job?
I don't get you, Mr. Haggerty.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you do, Connie. You've got a new line, haven't you? Would you be in the market for a second-hand anti-tank gun?
You mustn't hold me responsible for all your failures, Mr. Haggerty. I must be off. You've got my car number?
Yes. Take care, Connie. Stay on the zebra.
What do you want, then?
Oh, I was hoping for a chat.
Another one. We'll have the commissioner riding in here on his white horse next.
Oh, that'd be great. You see, I'm not fiddling my expenses. Pint of bitter, love.
I shouldn't serve you. You're not a member.
I'm a working man.
Were you kidding?
What did you tell that Russian?
What's there to tell?
That's rather what I was hoping you might tell me.
Yeah, well, you'll have to wait till the other barmaid gets here. I'm the only one on till 9.
Well, I'll have that pint of bitter while I'm waiting.
Fancy a game, mate?
No, thanks. I've hurt my hand.
Compensation, all right.
Yeah, they're going to buy me a new one.
So you don't think anyone put him up to it?
Not Frank. If he did it, it's his own idea.
What about G?
Well, he never did old with her crazy ideas.
But he does now?
That's what you say.
What do you say, Mr. Gosling?
I tell you the truth, Mr. Craven, I don't know. I just don't know.
Do you agree with him about the housing situation?
Of course I do. Everybody does. I mean, I bet you do. Look, I fought in a war. All through. My lad did 5 years, Malaya, Kenya, Aden. We never asked for no favours. Never been on the assistance, the RO, or the welfare. Then what happens? They give council houses to any old scroungers that cons them with an hard luck story and leaves us, the real British, in the slums.
I wish I had thought of it.
Oh, didn't you? You were being character.
I've got a file.
Oh, yes, a very interesting one.
I'm flattered. Of course, you're thorough.
Oh, very.
You left out one or two things.
Like, spies for peace. We're not sure, of course.
Well, I'm not about to confirm it.
That's a pity.
What do you really want?
You set that hijacking up, didn't you, Jean?
I've told you I didn't.
Yeah, so why should I believe you?
Because I'm telling the truth.
Look, just supposing that they get away with it. Will it change the truth?
No, the truth's real enough if you live in Albert
The truth
Road.
is that you're quite happy to see your brother and Ron Murray martyred for the cause. Well, it's not worth it.
What is it worth? The thing they're supposed to have pinched?
The gun, I don't really know.
I'll tell you what it's worth. It's worth the price of decent homes for 40 families. About 125 people.
Yes. Well, there were other ways.
Listen. 8 years ago, the council compulsory purchased and condemned all the property in Albert Road. Everyone was promised a new home on the estate they'd planned. Well, that was in 1965. The estate's finished, and no one from Albert Road has moved in
Yes,
there.
well, there are points, lists, priorities.
Priorities.
Well, you should know more about that than I do.
8 years in what would pass for a slum if we'd let it. Now perhaps someone will sit down and take some notice.
Yeah, perhaps, yes. Well, I'll tell you something that's a certainty.
Frank and Ron are going to get caught, and when they do, they get sent down for a long time. Well, what's going to happen to Carole? What's going to happen to the kids?
They'll cope, just like they're coping
yes, they will. Thank you.
now. I'll tell you something, Mr. Policeman. I used to get at Frank and Ron because they were uncommitted, because they didn't seem to care. They want to get involved. They want to cause trouble. I was the one who carried the banners.
Sister Anna.
Oh, shut up. They'd as much to gain and more to fight for. I told them so often. But those causes were too remote. Those issues were too wide for them. I was going to save the world. They could only see how things were in Albert Road. And finally, when they got angry enough about it, they did something. And you know what?
What?
They make me feel ashamed.
Morning, campers.
Where have you been, Frank?
Breakfast.
Pork pie? Well, Carole makes me bacon and eggs.
Yeah, would have been at home last night. The law hadn't copped on so quick. Look, you sure you didn't tell anyone? I mean anyone?
No, Frank, of course I didn't.
Not even Carole?
Oh, no.
I wonder if someone knew then. Well, it shouldn't have gone wrong. Worked out it was like a military operation.
It would have gone wrong anyway. They would have been onto us regardless. You can't make anonymous phone calls to the papers. It was a crazy scheme in the first place.
Should have gone like a dream. Surprise and daring, that's what it had. It's like my old CO used to say, surprise and daring, the essentials of attack.
You better ring him up and ask if he's got any suggestions, because I think we've had it.
Carole. We'll be all right, you'll see. How luck's holding. I'm going to get on to Jean.
Jean?
Yeah, I wanted to keep her out of it, but we need her now. She'll have someone who can help.
That's if they haven't all been nicked by now.
Yeah, they'll be tapping the phones, that's for sure. I'll get on to old Harry at the club. I won't be a minute.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a nice day, isn't it?
It's a grand day.
Yeah. You made any good deliveries?
Yeah, not like it used to be, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a telephone, you see.
OK. Yeah, we'll make that the deal. Of course I mean it. I've got nothing to lose now. Yeah, well, thanks a million, love. Well, quick as you can, I'll wait. Jean, listen, Jean, look, something's gone wrong. Yeah, I'll try and phone you back, all right? What's up, bleeding Kate?
What's the matter?
Where the hell are they?
Well, they got a good hideout. The job's been well planned.
Has everything been covered?
Yes, sir. Pig farms, refuse tips, quarries, junkyards, any place they might know about.
What about the flying squad, Haggerty? Any sign of the heavy mob?
No. There hasn't been a smell from any of the big villains.
The great disappearing trick was performed by two totally unprofessional and inexperienced pig food collectors.
Well, Koniev's been sniffing around, sir. So have a few other embassy boys.
If you remember, I did forecast that this would happen. You're getting full cooperation at local levels?
Every force is putting all the coppers it can spare into checking waste ground, open country, or any other possible bolt hole in their area.
Yeah, but without a lot more men, it's going to take months to make a complete search. Hey, why don't we call in the army to give a hand? After all, it's their gun.
No, we don't think that'd be a good idea. The public reaction might well be much ado about nothing, or measure for measure.
Or the comedy of errors.
I take it the Gosling phone has been tapped. The girl, Jean, might be up to something.
The house has been put under surveillance too. All the standard procedures have been put into operation.
Thank you, Commander. I was certain that was so. I just needed reassurance. Now, the other side. How about some harassment?
Well, they're pros. They'll be expecting it, but we'll give it a try, of course.
So what's next?
Well, just for now, sir, we're sitting it out, playing wait and see.
Craven. What? All right, put him on. So they've been spotted near Harefield by a postman. Right. All right, call me as soon as you get some more information. Well, another milestone on the march towards better public relations. Looks like they've been spotted, all right. About 25 minutes ago, just north of Harefield. Craven. Where? All right, yeah, send her in. Yes, right now. Jean Gosling.
So she was in it after all?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so.
We shall soon know, I think, gentlemen.
Come in. Miss Gosling, I've got some news for you.
Frank and Ron sent me to make an offer I don't think you can refuse.
Now, let's just get this right, Miss Gosling. Your brother and your brother-in-law will hand back the gun and give themselves up just as soon as the first families move out of Albert Road and into new housing.
And as soon as the old slums start coming down.
And if that offer isn't met?
Frank knows how to use that gun, you know.
Why should we believe it, Miss Gosling? Hitherto you've claimed to have nothing to do with it.
I haven't. My brother's in trouble. He asked me to help. It's the least I can do.
For all we know, this scheme might have been dreamt up by your friends of the People's Housing Action Committee. A last-ditch attempt to capitalize on your brother's vain, foolish gesture.
That's the only way you can see anything, isn't it? Opportunism, political leverage, power struggles. In fact, it's simple. Very simple. My brother and Ron Murray have had enough of poverty and squalor, enough of so-called democracies, lies, deceits, dishonesty. They've taken a stand. They've put themselves at risk. It's called courage, mister. Courage to buck the system, and you just can't understand that, can you?
Oh, yes, I can, Miss Gosling. I understand it very well. It means violence and bloodshed. It means bereaved families, orphaned children. It means violence met with violence. It means a long leap on that road to hell, Miss Gosling. The hell that is all law and no order. The police state, I believe you call it, Miss Gosling.
We can't make deals, Miss Gosling. You see, if we give way on this one, every other public institution will be vulnerable to the same kind of blackmail.
They are.
I know quite a lot about your brother now. And he's no blackmailer. And Ron Murray certainly isn't.
We'll see, won't we?
Miss Gosling. When have you got to contact your brother again?
Oh, don't worry, Inspector. It's not going to be as easy as that for you. I'm not going to lead you to them. If you don't agree to their terms by 3 this afternoon, they'll know they've got to fight it out.
There you go. 5 years in the Cape wasn't all wasted. Now, come on. I've got to teach you to be a good number 2 in about half an hour. Yeah, electronic sights, you see. Battery operated, too. Now, if we can get this thing to work, we'll have them running all over the shop. Mind you, we need to with only 5 shells. Well, come on, then. This is no time to throw a moody.
I can't do it. It's no good, Frank. I just can't.
What do you mean, can't? You've got no choice, mate.
I'm sorry, Frank. Really am. But I've had enough. If we chuck it in now, they'll send us down for a few years, right? If we go on, if we start shooting this thing, it's life. It's got to be. I can't do that to Carole and the kids.
Look, we talked about all that before we started, right? That's how you do it. That's why we live the way we do. Now, they know we put our families before anything else. But if you want to do anything, you've got to make sacrifices. You've got to do to them what they do to us. Bloody terrifying.
You're talking like Jean now. You said all we had to do was take it and tell the papers that the council would give in. Well, they didn't. And now I am.
Go on then, chuck your hand in. Go on, walk out on me. Never had any bottle anyway. Don't know why I asked you in the first place.
Yeah, but Frank.
On your bike. It's all you're good for, innit? Rabbit and putting Carole in the club. Well, on your way then. I'm busy.
We're not playing games, you know. If Frank uses that gun, you'll be an accessory before the fact. The fact of murder. You know what that means? Do you? I'll tell you. It means they'll lock you up and throw away the key. 20 or 30 years.
I've told you all I know.
Have you any idea how old your children will be by the time you get out? They'll have families of their own. They won't even remember you. You'll just be a dirty old man. And Carole won't remember much about you either. Think about it. You'll have ruined a whole family just to protect your brother-in-law. Frank Gosling, the ex-soldier who went out of his mind. Think about it. You haven't got much time. We'll find him ourselves in about half an hour.
Come on, Ron, it's not as bad as all that. Look, you gave yourself up, right? That must stand you in good stead. If you tell us where Frank is, it can only do you good. It won't do him any harm either. See, if somebody gets to Frank and has a quiet word with him before he does anything silly, he might be persuaded to give himself up as well. Then he'll get off lightly too.
May not be much, but I wouldn't shop him.
Ah, the troublesome Mr. Murray. Still being somewhat reticent, I understand. I brought Dr. Blyth to meet you. He feels he ought to tell you something about the weapon that you and your brother-in-law were inconsiderate enough to steal from the Ministry of Defence.
Well, it's dangerous. Very dangerous in its present state. Mr. Gosling might be a trained artilleryman, but if he tries to fire that weapon with the sight attached, he'll very likely kill himself and any number of innocent bystanders unfortunate enough to be within quarter of a mile of him.
You hear that, Mr. Murray? It won't be policemen, soldiers in the firing line. It'll be children and old ladies who'll be killed and maimed. I hope you enjoy being a party to that.
Okay, you bastards. Near Upham's Quarry. The woods at the back.
Haggerty, you won't get your car down there, sir. Jump in, we'll take the Land Rover.
Right.
I'm Haggerty. No gun, I suppose.
I want to help Frank. Maybe save a lot of other people from getting hurt.
Why come to me? You're the law. You've got all the power.
Well, you're his father. He'll listen to you.
Not anymore, he won't. After all this, I sometimes wonder whether he ever did, you know, really.
I think he did.
Oh, don't listen to him, Dad. They just want you to shop your own
All
son.
right, Jim, we all know your views.
You're the only one that can help him.
Look, my dad's got a bad heart. Will you please leave him alone? He's got enough on his plate
You
as it is.
shut up, my girl. You may want to set the ruddy world on fire, but I'll still talk to whoever I like, you understand?
I can't offer you anything, but Frank's in trouble. If he continues with his crazy notion, he's going to be in even bigger trouble.
If you find him, I'll talk to him.
Thanks. Look, he can't have gone far. He's on foot. Is there anywhere special he might go?
We used to bring him here fishing years ago, when the mother was alive. We had some marvellous times. Well, anyway, it's a place he knows.
Then we'll wait.
If he does turn up, you'll let me talk to him first. Have I got your word on that, Mr. Craven?
Yes, you have.
Hello, Frank. I thought you'd end up here.
I blew it, Dad.
Yeah, I know, son. Caused a lot of bother as well, didn't you?
How the kids?
All right, considering.
Jean?
Yeah, she'd have had a bit of a hard time with the law and all.
You bastards. How about you?
I'm sad, son. Sad.
It had to be done.
That's what you say.
Look, if we don't make a stand, we never win anything.
But you've lost everything, Frank.
But they still want that. And they're bloody paid for it.
It's got to go back. It's the armies, you know that, Sergeant.
Don't give me
Take
all that.
it back, son.
Hello, Frank.
Hold it, Tom.
You shot me.
No.
Why?
I wanted you to work it out for yourself. I was just a bit too late, that's all.
There you go.
Go on, you.
Mr. Craven, I'd like to take that gun back myself.
Evening, Major. Hope we haven't kept you up. This is Mr. Leonard Gosling. He has something he'd like to return personally to you.
I see.
It's in the wagon, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Gosling. And I should like to say that I appreciate how much all this has meant to you.
Sure.
Well, they are, Dr. Blyth. A lot of people have been looking for that.
Yeah, so much fuss and bother. Still, I suppose someone must have thought it was worth it.
What do you mean, worth it?
The site doesn't work.
In theory it should, and in practice it did, up to a point. The fault is inherent in the principle. It's a well-known fact.
But what about Davidson and Steiner?
I thought they'd overcome it. Rumours leaked out. We didn't discourage them.
And you've known about this all along?
There were serious doubts right from the beginning. The site is unstable. The final field tests proved that conclusively. Under battle conditions, you'd do as much harm to your own side as you would to the enemy.
Yes, but surely there'll be more research, more work done on it.
Development has been suspended. It's just not on, because you appreciate this information is highly classified.
Then why all the hullabaloo?
To keep that a secret. We had to give the impression that we were deeply concerned. You see, Commander, to be effective, a deterrent doesn't actually have to work. Just so long as enough people think it does.
You know, the council had already decided to do this 6 months ago.
Pity they couldn't have told us.
And us. Still, you wouldn't have believed them anyway.
But Frank and Ron might have done.
Saved us and them a great deal of trouble. Still, 18 months, Frank was lucky. So was Ron with 9. Both could have got a great deal more.
I think they thought they would.
Can't beat the system.
But you can try. Not that you'll give a damn, but I don't blame you. Not entirely, anyway. Could just be you were taken with the idea as well.
It's been known.